So the city of New Orleans may not have invented brunch, but they sure as well perfected it. And I think the prime example of that is eggs Hussarde here. So basically, it's eggs Benedict with a spicy hollandaise, a little bit of sliced tomato, and tasso instead of ham. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me eat this, but I am definitely going to be eating this, and you can watch how I make it because it's pretty easy to do. The main thing we're going to focus on is poaching the eggs and the hollandaise, and then you can put whatever you want on it, really. So let's get into the recipe. Eggs Hussard is basically eggs Benedict, but you use sliced tomatoes and tasso on top of the English muffin. Now we have our English muffin. We got a butter. Let's a quarter stick of butter. We got some farm fresh eggs. Delicious farm fresh eggs. If you have hippie friends, I'd ask them if they got any of these for you because they're in short supply right now. Obviously, some of our Lucky Cajun Black Label for sprinkling on top as garnish. We have some vinegar for our hollandaise, or you could use hot sauce, just something acidic. Then we have some salt that we're going to use for our poaching liquid. And then we're going to talk about our equipment because there's going to be a few things here that a little more complicated preparation, but nothing really hard. Like, stop thinking hollandaise is hard. Stop thinking poached eggs is hard. So first off, we're going to have a pot to warm up our butter in. We're going to have a pot for poaching our eggs in. We're going to need a small bowl and whisk for our hollandaise. We're going to need a little towel for that. That's going to be our third hand. We're going to stick our bowl in this little curled up wet towel. It's going to hold our bowl in place. You're going to need a little nice slotted spoon. Pull your poached eggs out. A plate with little towel. Now the reason why you got a little towel on here is because your eggs are going to be wet and they're going to want to slide around, and this will help dry them up a little bit so that way when you put them on the muffin with your eggs and tomatoes on there, it's not going to get wet. It's not going to get like moist and ruin the texture of the muffin. And then this little tray to heat up your tasso and your English muffin on. All right, so let's get into the preparation. All right, so now we're going to cut up everything for the eggs Hussard. Now, just get your nice English muffin and split it right down the middle. Now, some people go, oh, why'd you do that? Why don't you flake it? Well, you know what? This works just as well. So we're going to put it over there on our tray. Move that little crumbs out of the way. And then we're going to slice our... I'm going to get the middle of the tomato because I want to have those English muffins covered up. We don't want to have little thin slices over there. So we're going to have some big slices of tomato for this dish. Yeah, there you go. Now, I get it. Tomatoes aren't in season right now, but we have a lot of friends down in South Florida that have plenty of fresh tomatoes. So, you can also put anything on there, like I was saying, like smoked salmon. You can put mushrooms, you can put a steak, you can put whatever. All right, now we're just going to get in here with the tasso. We're going to slice it lengthwise because we want nice long slices. Get that first slice going. I mean, cut it a little, cut it like thick cut bacon. We're going to, when we toast this up in the oven, it's going to get nice and sizzly and tasty. And I'm just going to cut up a bunch of it just to make sure that we have it. But that's about what, 3 or 4. We'll do 4 slices per muffin, but you could do 3. This is going to do wonderful on our English muffins. So we'll put those over on the little tray here. Now we're going to make our hollandaise. We got our quarter stick of butter, and then we're going to use a quarter stick of butter and 1 egg yolk. So we're going to melt that up over here on our little thing, little induction eye. And now we're going to kind of move this over. So we have our towel right here. Make sure it's nice and, you don't want it soaking wet, but you want it moist so it holds everything. We're going to put our little thing right there, our little bowl. We got our whisk right here. We got our mug that's been warmed up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to crack this. We're going to break the egg open, right? Real gently like. And then I like to use my hands to just let the whites fall through and then kind of scissor with my fingers. And then we have one single yolk right there. Not complicated, not hard. Just put it in there. Wash my hands. We're gonna get this out of the way. We don't need that. We're gonna put a little pinch of Lucky Cajun Black Label in there. That's this guy right here. You look on the website. We're gonna put a little splash of vinegar in there. Not much, just a little bit. And you see over here our little, oh, it's beeping because it's not on there, but that, see how it's melting? So we're just melting our butter down. And then we're gonna break this up and whisk it. All right, so this is what we're gonna be, this is the beginning of our hollandaise. So this is an important part. Make sure you have a nice little whisk. You could do it in a bigger bowl, but I just figure it's just easier to just keep it small. So this is gonna make about a half cup of hollandaise, which is enough to do 2 or 3 of these, but we're just gonna, so if you need to do more, do, you know, more butter, more yolk. All right, set that right there. Wait until our butter's melted now. Okay, so I'm gonna do something a little differently than what most people would consider as acceptable, right? So I'm just melting it. Like, I'm just gonna melt it till it's bubbling, right? So we've got hot liquid. I'm not gonna worry about clarifying this because that just gets complicated. And we're not trying to make it complicated. So the important part of this is slow and easy. So the first little drips, still warming up. So we're just tempering the eggs. Make sure it's whisked in nicely. Just a little bit at a time. This is the most important part, is to start the emulsion. Do not pour a bunch in here and then be like, oh, it broke. It's just keep moving, keep it going. Now this may take practice. You might want to practice this before you serve it to guests. But we're coming together nicely. And we can start going a little faster. Just make sure everything's whisked in. Now you can just slowly drizzle it in. You see how it's holding it? Like, I might want to straighten it out a little bit here, but it's just slow drizzle. See that's there? Look what's happening. We got hollandaise, baby. Alright, now we're putting the last of it in. Just giving it one little, look at that. So you just have to be patient. Just take your time. And I'm just going to pour the rest of it in there. Alright, awesome. There it is. So, I'm just going to show you it with the spoon. We're going to get it in that little, see how we've made nice, fluffy, whipped up hollandaise? There it is. That's how you do it. We're going to pour it in here to keep it nice and warm so it doesn't break, it doesn't cool down. Just right into the cup. Make sure you pour out the water first, right? There it is. Our little hollandaise. I'm gonna put that spoon in there. I'm just gonna go like that, so it should be fine like that. All right. All right, so we got some nice little bubbles going in our water. We're gonna add a nice big spoonful of sea salt. This is gonna help, maybe like a tablespoon. Let that, stir that in, dissolve it, and then we can put our eggs in two different ways. If you live dangerously, you can just crack it in there like I am right now. Just make sure you put it right over the water, poop, in. Or you can pre-crack it in a little cup here. See how this is going? And then just kind of pour it right in. Make sure you do it right above the water. Don't try to drop them in. Be delicate with these, because until they're set, they're not real sturdy. So we're gonna go for 2 minutes and 15 seconds to 30 seconds. Once they start getting kind of set, you can kind of move them a little bit. I might turn it up just a hair, just to get a little more bubbles going on it. You can start moving around. That rolling around helps cook them more evenly. I'm gonna kind of flip this one over. So we got a nice little simmer there. Probably done first. And we're gonna put them on our little plate with a towel on it. Now we're just gonna start assembling. We're gonna put our little English muffins over here. See how they're nice and toasty? That's perfect. Let's boil them up in the oven. We're gonna put our tasso on next, because we don't want our to the longer pieces on there. To the longer pieces on this one. We don't want to put the tomato straight on the English muffin, because it's gonna, take away from that crisp. Think about it. Think about what you're doing here. Let me put that on, and then the eggs. Be careful. Put them right on top. See how that paper towel that dries them up nicely? We're just gonna roll that on there. We're gonna get some of our delicious hollandaise that we whipped up, and we got it. So look at that. Just trying to do a little line over the top, That way you can see everything. But make sure you got some hollandaise on the bottom there. That's my favorite part, because you can get your English muffin in it. And then we're going to sprinkle a little of this on top. This is kind of like brighten it all up. Bring all the flavors out of everything. There's salt and spice in the tasso, so it's going to season our tomato. But doesn't that look pretty? Doesn't that look delicious? Like, you can make this. You can make this at home and enjoy it every single day if you wanted to. You might have to go walk more, but it might be worth it.